In today's video, we're going to be talking about what it would be like to live in Kuna, Idaho. And by the end of the video, you're going to be able to know if Kuna, Idaho should be on your list of a possible place to move or if you should take it off of your list. Hey friends, welcome back. My name's Craig Flood and I am your guide to relocating to Idaho. Here are just a few of the things that we're going to talk about as we help you decide if Kuna, Idaho is going to be a good place for you to live. We'll talk about what the town is like. Don't take my analogy too far, but I could call it like a mini Boise. We'll look at where it is located in relation to everything else in the Treasure Valley. We'll also hit on the schools and how they stack up compared to other things in case that's important to you. And then by the end of this video, my goal is that, again, you'll have a really good understanding if Kuna is going to be right for you and what you're looking for. So first, let's start off by kind of showing where Kuna is located. Kuna is located just south of the Treasure Valley, kind of as a whole. It's south of 84, it's south of Boise, south of Meridian, south of Eagle. And in terms of drive times for Kuna to get to places like, say, downtown Boise, you're looking at 20 to 30 minutes. From Kuna to Meridian, you're looking at about 15 minutes to 25 minutes. And from Kuna to Nampa, you're looking at about 20 to 30 minutes. And then in terms of Kuna's relation and distance from other amenities that you might be looking to get, let's go ahead and go over those now. From Kuna to Trader Joe's, it's going to be about 28 minutes. From Kuna to the airport, it's going to be about 30 minutes. From Kuna to Top Golf, if you're into golfing, that's going to be about 21 minutes. And then from Kuna to the Village, and the Village is this beautiful outdoor shopping mall. Think restaurants, movie theater, play area for the kids, coffee shops, outdoor stuff. That's going to be about 25 minutes. And then finally, Kuna to Costco is going to be about 30 minutes as well. Now that you kind of know where Kuna is, one of the benefits that has people moving out to Kuna is the fact that you're still somewhat close to some of the amenities in, say, Boise or Meridian or things like that. I just recently did a film on Idaho Falls and Moscow, and that's a good example of small towns that don't have larger towns necessarily next to them, so they don't get access to certain amenities like Trader Joe's or a really good airport. In Kuna, you do still get that really small town vibe, and if you just stay out there, that's great, but if you do want something else, it's not too far from Kuna, and you can just kind of take a 30-minute drive to get there. Now let's talk about what Kuna is like. So again, Kuna is a small town. You're talking about 25,000 people. And things tend to be a little bit flatter out there. As you see in some of the video here, you're not close to the foothills. You are in kind of more of a gridded layout with lots of agricultural and farming land. And for some people, being away from the foothills and things like that could be a negative. But if those things aren't important to you, then some of the pros are going to far outweigh what those cons would be. So some of the pros are housing affordability. Some of the cheapest homes are in Ada County are in Kuna. You have beautiful, quaint downtown. You got sidewalks. It's very patriotic. I know a lot of you who are relocating to Idaho, one of the biggest reasons that you could be locating are for political reasons. You're kind of sick of what's happening in your state and you don't agree with it and you want to change, then you might really love a town like Kuna. Whereas Boise can definitely fall more on the liberal side of things in context of Idaho. You get out to some of these smaller towns and they're definitely falling on the more conservative side of things. And just for fun, I always enjoy doing this. Let's just touch on some of the history real quick of Kuna, Idaho. So Kuna was first established as a city in the early 1900s, and it really grew with the irrigation development in the valley and agriculture. Kuna was kind of known as the gateway city, as you kind of had to cut through that area on your way out to the birds of prey habitat. And Kuna's name comes from the Shoshone word, the end of the trail. And that's because it was the last stop for the stagecoach and the freight wagons that were headed to the mining town of Silver City. And the first settlers of the town in Kuna were Mr. and Mrs. Fremont H. Teed, who started the post office in 1905. And then again, one of the benefits of these small towns is that they really come together. And especially here in Idaho, we like to celebrate. So they have something called Kuna Days, which is the first week in August. And for that, you can expect a parade, a carnival, live music, and fireworks, all in downtown Kuna. So again, what's so nice about these small towns is that they really kind of come together to celebrate independence, America, their community, and all that they've accomplished. Now, before we jump into the housing costs in Kuna and what that's all like, let me know what your thoughts are. Is Kuna a place that you think that you could live? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. I make sure to read all my comments, and I'm sure to respond to as many as I can, but I would love to hear your thoughts of what you think about Kuna so far. And also, I see some of you out there, you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet. And if you're interested in all things Idaho, what it's like to live, work, eat, sleep, and play here, and what real estate is like, then be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified every week I post new content. Now let's talk about housing in Kuna, Idaho. Currently, the median sales price in Kuna, Idaho is going to be roughly $438,000. And then in relation to how that compares to last year, it's roughly down 6.9%. So prices are definitely coming down. Interest rates have definitely gone up. And you're seeing that kind of affect what people are able to get for their homes right now. And in terms of Ada County, they have some of the cheapest real estate in Ada County, but I just want to name off some of the other major cities around so that you can know what the median sales price is, just to kind of compare. So I'm just going to read them off here. In Boise, the median is roughly $495,000. In Meridian, it's $499,000. In Nampa, it's $399,000. In Caldwell, it's $375,000. And then all the way out in Mountain Home, kind of on the outskirts, you're looking at $325,000 in terms of median sales price. Now let's talk about schooling and what that might look like for you if you choose to move to Kuna, Idaho. Now in terms of school, you're going to have a handful of options. Starting at the top, you're going to have 2 high schools, 3 middle schools, and then a lot of elementary school options. And these are going to vary between public and charter, depending on what you're wanting. Now in terms of ratings, if you look at something like greatschools.org, the ratings are not phenomenal. Definitely nothing you're going to write home about. We're talking like 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10, and things like that. But as some of you know, and as I know, a lot of that can be a little skewed sometimes. And often you can learn a lot more by having conversations with parents and learning about specific teachers. So obviously you'll want to take some of that with a grain of salt, and it isn't bad to do your due diligence. So if you plan a scouting trip out here, I would encourage you to reach out to some parents, get into the school, get some tours, talk to some teachers, and kind of see what's actually happening on the ground. Now let's talk about some things to do in Kuna, Idaho. First, we're going to start out with their kind of quaint downtown. The downtown is really close to Indian Creek, and kind of between the two, you have some parks, you have the Greenbelt. Again, Kuna, like I said at the beginning of the film, I could almost call it like a mini Boise. Obviously, Boise is a lot larger. The hustle and bustle of the downtown is nothing compared to what you see in Kuna, where Kuna is just like kind of 2 lanes going back and forth. But besides that, it does have a quaint downtown. It does have a beautiful kind of water feature running through town. It does have a greenbelt, just like Boise and some of the other cities in the Treasure Valley. And so in that sense, it does have some similarities, just on a much smaller scale. And there is great shopping in that area, though you probably will need to go out of Kuna for certain things. But at the same time, there's plenty of stuff in town that can keep you there and keep you from having to go out of Kuna. So if you're looking for a guide to help you relocate to Idaho, then reach out. You can call, text, or email, days, nights, or weekends, and I'll see you guys in the next video.